I was hired based on my merit.
Have I Got News for You? Return September 6th on CNN and stream next day on HBO Max.
An all-American club combo, extra jalapeno. Shooter likes it hot.
For just $1 more.
I lost 110 pounds. You couldn't tell at all because of my excess skin. Sono Bello changed that.
Introducing the new Lift EX, the just one visit total.
Changed that.
Introducing the new Lift EX, the just one visit total body transformation.
I decided to give Sono Bello a try. You can see my waist.
Lift EX is our breakthrough 360-degree body lift alternative that sculpts, tightens, and lifts your stomach, waist, thighs, and backside. And Lift EX is exclusively available at Sono Bello. Easy monthly plans make your best body more affordable than ever. Call to book your free consultation today.
Fisher is at St. Jude because he was diagnosed with stage 3 medulloblastoma. St. Jude is what has given us hope as a family.
Great job.
An official message from Medicare about fraud.
Free knee brace from my Medicare number.
Medicare fraud can happen through text, call, or email.
What will they try next?
Hello?
I'm calling about your Medicare.
I don't give out my information.
Need to confirm my Medicare number?
Nope. Delete.
Don't give your Medicare number to someone you don't know. Regularly check your Medicare claims to make sure they are right. Learn more at medicare.gov/fraud.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Believe me, when it comes to investing, you'll love Carl's Way. Take a left here, please.
But there's a...
Carl's Way is the best way.
Is it? At Schwab, how I choose to invest is up to me.
Exactly. I can invest and trade on my own.
Yes, and I let them manage some investments for me, too.
Let's move on, shall we?
No can do.
I'll get out here.
Where are you going?
Schwab.
Schwab.
Schwab, a modern approach to wealth management.
I'm a big believer in super beta prostate. You'll notice less urges to urinate, and you won't be getting up at night for so many bathroom trips. I wouldn't say it if I didn't truly believe it.
This company has changed the game.
It's called Audion Hearing.
It allows people to connect and to feel, frankly, normal.
This isn't just a bunch of kids with a dream. Like, we're really doing this. Bestseller in Walmart, bestseller in QVC, Amazon, and pretty much it actually is the #1 selling hearing aid in the world now.
It's all coming from this shared mission and this shared passion and drive to be the best we can be and help the most amount of people we can.
When you're at the starting line for your next event, 4imprint has the right promotional gear, bottles, bags, hats, and tees delivered on time to energize your customers and your team. Race now to 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
Watch The Lead today at 5 on CNN.
All right, welcome back. So Ghislaine Maxwell, she's currently serving a 20-year prison sentence for helping Jeffrey Epstein groom and sexually abuse underage girls, minor children, has just been moved to a minimum security prison camp in Texas. She was serving time at a Florida prison that houses gang members and other violent offenders. CNN crime and justice correspondent Caitlin Polantz joins our panel. So, Caitlin, this comes a week after Maxwell met privately with Trump's deputy attorney general, also, of course, Trump's former personal attorney, Todd Blanche. Is this normal? What do we know about why they're doing this?
On that, it's not normal for the DAG at the Justice Department to meet directly with someone like Ghislaine Maxwell in the prison system in any circumstance. Set that aside, though. What they're doing now, I did speak to a prison consultant not a long time ago, just this afternoon, Casey, and that prison consultant told me it is a little unusual for this to be happening for Ghislaine Maxwell, but the Justice Department, the Bureau of Prisons, they have control here. There are two questions that are being raised, though, right now. It is a question of leniency. Is there some sort of leniency being given by the Justice Department toward Ghislaine Maxwell, perhaps in light of her willingness to speak? Or is this a question of security? People do get moved around in the Bureau of Prisons facility, and you look at going from a low security prison in Florida to one that is a minimal security prison in Texas. That's where she is now. You would think that may mean that it changes the security for her in a way that makes it less secure, because that's on the outside thinking of the security. But actually, she's now going to be with people who are nonviolent offenders, white-collar people, white-collar criminals, people like Elizabeth Holmes from the blood testing company Theranos, Jen Shaw from the TV show Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Those are the types of people, white-collar defendants in the federal prison camp in Texas. They have a lot of freedom to move inside that camp, whereas the low-security prison in Florida, those people there could be gang affiliates. Some of them will have been convicted of violent crimes. It's a different situation. The leniency piece of this, that question that remains, it has been picked up by both the survivors in the Epstein, the accusers, the victims in the Epstein and Maxwell criminal cases, as well as the family of accuser, the late accuser, Virginia Giuffre. She says, the family says in a statement, "This is the justice system falling victims to right before our eyes. The American public should be enraged by the preferential treatment being given to a pedophile and a criminally charged child sex offender. The Trump administration should not credit a word," Maxwell says, as the government itself sought charges against Maxwell for being a serial liar. Casey, we don't have a full answer on what precipitated this move of Ghislaine Maxwell inside the federal prison system, but she has a lot of time left on her 20-year sentence.
What a country. A Real Housewives star, Elizabeth Theranos, fraudster, and now Ghislaine Maxwell, all at the same prison. Elliot Williams. I think my question here is for average people who are watching this happen. I mean, how do you look at this and not think, like, something smells?
Yeah, the for average people was the perfect way to start the sentence, Casey. And here's why. Anytime a benefit is provided to someone who has been convicted of a crime, even if there's a total basis for it, it just smells bad to the public. And quite frankly, it smells bad to juries. That's in the form of lower sentences, lightened sentencing, moving prisons, and so on. And sometimes there's really a basis for it. She might have had a threat on her life or something like that, causing them to move her into a different scenario. But the problem is, the administration, particularly the Justice Department, has created this problem by sort of suggesting that there's sort of more there. And I think people are right to ask questions. When, as Caitlin had said, the Deputy Attorney General meets with somebody and then days later they're moved to a far less restrictive facility.
Yeah, well, can I ask you, I mean, is her life going to be materially better in this environment than it was in the last one?
Yes, but I want to make clear that prison is terrible no matter where it is, even a minimum security prison. However, she'll be in dormitory-style housing as opposed to a cubicle. She will be in a facility that doesn't have double barbed wire fencing and electronic monitoring and prison towers. She will be able to work in a way that she would not be able to. So it's what we think of when we think of a more relaxed environment, but she's still in prison for a very long time. But oh yeah, and she's also not surrounded by people who might shiv her at any moment in a way that she is here with the kinds of folks she's surrounded by.
So Jonah Goldberg, let me get this straight. The MAGA crowd is angry as all can be at the Trump administration for not putting out the files on this guy who has Jeffrey Epstein, right? Who has become absolutely, as he should be, a villain to all of them, and Trump has, embraced using that to help himself get elected. He is now overseeing a Justice Department that has made Epstein's main accomplice's life better than it was before he was president. Is that like in what world?
Yeah. So as Elliot says, it does make one want to raise questions, and there's no doubt. I mean, I have not checked the usual gargoyles and fever swamps, but I have no doubt that the conspiracy theories are running amok about what this means, what this could mean. But honestly, I just don't know. I mean, it seems just as likely to me, we already know that Trump wants to have a UFC fight at the White House. Maybe she's moving her in there for a reality show with those other people. I mean, I'd watch that.
I mean, you could cross, an actual TV show in Orange is the New Black with the Real Housewives, I guess. Like, again.
It does seem particularly inexplicable when the specific problem that he has with his base around this is a lack of transparency, and they're clamoring for him to be more direct, more open,
and making the story go away at all.
Well, that too. That too
stirs it all up again.
That too. But yes, to do something like this that feels opaque, that also it doesn't take a law degree to determine that what he may be doing here is trying to get to an outcome in which she provides information that exonerates him. I mean, it also just really sort of fundamentally undermines, if you were even willing to accept that there's a world in which her information would not be biased or tainted anyway.
Right.
It passes understanding.
Kate, let me be clear. The only thing that is going to end this is the Attorney General looking into a camera and saying, here is the list, or no such a list exists, and we cannot provide it to you.
Well, I think no such a list exists won't even end it. But I mean, they sort of tried to say that. They sort of tried that.
There is no solution to this that does not involve the constant fever swamp conspiracy theories that Joan is talking about without nipping it in the bud, and they haven't done that, and they don't seem to have any appetite to.
Well, and Caitlin Polantz, so we have established that Ghislaine Maxwell's day-to-day existence, while yes, will still be in prison, which is by definition unpleasant, will be less unpleasant, theoretically, because of her circumstances in this different facility. You have some reporting and information on how severely the Justice Department wanted Maxwell to be treated back at the time that she was sentenced. How does that fit here?
Well, it was 3 years ago, and I just went back and looked at the sentencing submissions in that case. After she was convicted at trial, both she made arguments to the judge for leniency in the system, and she made a lot of complaints at that time about how she was being treated in detention. The Justice Department, though, at that time, they were saying Ghislaine Maxwell is the perpetrator of horrific crimes. They may be nonviolent as classified in the court system, but she should not be treated with leniency at her sentencing. They even said, they argued at that time that she was repeatedly lying about not just what happened in her situation, what she was accused of with these victims, but also she was lying about what happened to her in the detention system. They didn't find that she was being treated unfairly in any way. And so the judge did designate her at that time to a low-security prison, just like she had been in Florida.
All right. Caitlin Polantz, thank you very much for that reporting. Really appreciate it. Our panel is going to stand by. But up next, Senator Amy Klobuchar will be here live in the arena. We're going to discuss the Republican push to redraw congressional maps, that tactic some Democrats say is going to disadvantage them, and what former Vice President Kamala Harris says about her future.
I'm hearing like you don't want to be part of the fight anymore.
No, oh, absolutely not. I am always going to be part of the fight.
Why would rich kids get into the business of killing?
The Billionaire Boys Club was a combination investment group and social club.
It was a classic Ponzi scheme.
Joe Hunt was their guru. He was the puppet master.
He was chasing wealth and power at any cost, even murder.
The story is more weird than you even think.
Billionaire Boys Club, Sunday at 10 on CNN.
Thanks for calling Consumer Cellular, ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction.
Hi, my friend Linda has you guys and gets way better coverage than I do.
Sounds like Linda has you beat.
Not at bowling.
You're breaking up a little.
Are you really ranked #1 in coverage?
Yep. And plans start at just $20.
Oh, we could afford lessons for Linda. You're embarrassing yourself.
At least my phone works.
Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage satisfaction. Call or visit Consumer Cellular today.
As a person living with diabetes, I'm all about making progress.
Oh, Sherry Shepherd in my roller rink.
Progress isn't about overhauling your life or always being perfect. Ooh. My progress is making smart choices to help lower my A1C with my Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor. It's the little wins, baby. And getting one at half the cost of other CGMs, well, that's a big win. Come on, ladies.
Try for free at freestylelibre3.us/Sherry.
I see it. Hey, I like it. Hey, I want it. Yes, I do. Said I need it.
With Chase, you can get a debit card for your kids' independence.
Yes, I do need you.
And parental notifications, so you can keep an eye on how they're using it. Still on budget. Control for parents, freedom for kids. That's family banking from Chase. Make more of what's yours.
Bye, loves.
Sometimes it takes a different approach to see the possibilities all around you.
How are the girls?
They're amazing, Dad.
You okay?
As a Capella University nurse practitioner student, you'll learn the advanced skills you need to face the nursing challenges of today and tomorrow. A different future is closer than you think with Capella University.
Think of all the places that could expose you to identity theft. If something happens, LifeLock provides a U.S.-based restoration specialist to fix it start to finish, guaranteed or your money back. Don't face identity theft alone. Join LifeLock today.
Powerful, majestic, recreational. At Progressive, we treat your outdoor vehicles like the noble creatures they are. And when you bundle them with your home and auto, you can be sure they get the 24/7 protection they deserve. There you go. So they're always ready for your next adventure. Because that's just how we do it around here. Around these parts, around them parts. It's just how we do it here.
Guys, got hair loss? I know what you're thinking. Should I shave my head? Comb it over? Wear a hat? Just stop. This isn't 1970. Keep your hair and your confidence because Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration experts, can give you your real hair back permanently. Check them out because they're giving away an absolutely free information kit and a free gift card to everyone who scans this QR code. Dude, you don't have to look like your dad because this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they're ahead of the curve. They use the latest technology to give you your real hair back. And the best part, Bosley's permanent solution is protected by the Bosley Guarantee. Let them show you for free how awesome your hair could look with an absolutely free information kit and a gift card for $250 off. Scan the QR code. Don't wait. Scan the code now and ask about the Bosley Guarantee.
What does a bad leader do when they get bad news? Shoot the messenger. That's just what happened with the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics. He ought to start governing like a leader, not like someone who imitates authoritarian leaders.
Democrats on Capitol Hill right now slamming President Trump over his firing of the commissioner of the Bureau of Labor Statistics today after the agency issued a weaker than expected jobs report. Joining us now to discuss, Democratic Senator of Minnesota, Amy Klobuchar, who sits on the Senate Commerce and Judiciary Committee. Senator, very grateful to have you on the show
Well, it's
today.
great to be on again, Casey, on what we call Liberation Day, which involved no tariff agreements being signed on August 1st. But it is wonderful to be on with this crazy story about the firing, as Senator Schumer pointed out, of the messenger, shooting the messenger just over the fact that you've got a weak economy and Americans are not going to buy this.
Senator, I mean, can you put in context kind of what this means? Because we saw the president, of course, in April when they had issued what he clearly thought was a good jobs report, praise for the data and the information here. Obviously, today he had a different reaction. What, in your view, does that mean?
Well, I mean, this is typical, right? He doesn't like the election results, so he tries to mess around with those. He's always trying to have an alternative universe. And the problem with this, where he's firing someone who is well respected in the statistician world, I checked it out, someone who got overwhelming support for her job by Democrats and Republicans, including, as Senator Schumer pointed out, J.D. Vance voted for her just as recently as 2024. And so he doesn't like these numbers, and he just throws them out. So let me tell you what isn't going to lie. People's grocery receipts, they're not going to lie. People know what the costs are going right now, and they know how they're going to get worse with these tariffs. Rent, that's not going to lie. How much people are paying for child care. He's not going to be able to change that by firing people. And so you can't fire yourself out of this economy. You have to show sound leadership and make smart decisions, and he has not been doing that, and instead we are seeing a major erosion of investment, and it's getting really scary for people, especially with the tariff tax of over $2,000 per family.
So speaking of the tariffs, there have been some who have pointed to the most recent GDP report as evidence that the tariffs regime that the president's putting into place is not as bad as many people feared, especially people on Wall Street. What would you say to them?
I think it's a matter of timing. People have continued to hope that agreements would be worked out that would actually be sane and that would actually keep our economy on track to what it was predicted to do, now no longer, earlier in the year. So instead what we see yesterday on the Liberation Day, I mean, I stayed up till midnight with my hat ready for, big excitement. He jacked up the tariffs on Canada, one of our biggest, Minnesota's biggest trading partners, to 35%. Or Brazil, with which we have a trade surplus, Casey. He gave them a 50% tariff, continued that in place just because he doesn't like the politics there. This is a trade surplus. We send more over there. We are able to get more money out of there than they are getting. And it's just an unbelievable thing that he's up to. So I think what you'll see, and most economists are agreeing with me on this, in the long term, you see a pullback of investments. We're already